Division 2 and other parties. I hope you're having a good one. As usual, if that's a no, we will be changing that because we have round 10 action around Monza. The fabled high-speed circuit. It's not the prancing horses who have been on form as of lately. It is the Bulls, the Red Bulls to be specific. Overall Constructors Champions for HRA. No one can catch them, and we've still got 9 races to go across all divisions. And of course, Division 1 Constructors Championships. So they've hooked up the big one and the big one. Action is going to be the word today. Plenty of action. Pentita actually is going to be late to today's stream. I'm just going to ping it. Let people know it's up. Going live. I'm just going to load up Twitch on my phone. I have to say I'm proud of the notes that I've done today. The notes are going to start to be ramping up. My connection is absolutely god-awful to the server. Let me just load up Google and do a quick internet test. Because I might have to go reset. Alright, yeah, I have the stream open. I'm just going to pause it very temporarily just to check my bandwidth. Don't want to leak any personal details and all that shit. I'm not sure if it's been picking up what I've been saying. So apologies for that. We are back. Slozen makes a return. Just making sure I've got everyone added. Yeah, internet's good. 14 ping. 70 megabytes per second download, sorry, and 20 for the upload. So the Wi-Fi won't be an issue today. I'm gonna start doing that test a little more regular, just so I can have some things prepared for if it goes to crap again. Thank you, Iron Lad. Thank you. You are the boss man. You are the boss man. Once again, the notes have come out today. As we're at the late point of the season, it's not just notes for Division 1 that are getting done now. I am actually creating physical copies of the notes. So I've got them in front of me because we are at crunch time with the season. Oh, best island. Well, I hope it's a good one. And let us know how the future is tomorrow. Have a good one, mate. Have a good one. That's a horrific joke. Oh, Lord. Yeah, 12 drivers in today. Good evening, Mr. Bossman Kai. So, yeah, Monza, Temple of Speed. 11 of some of the most iconic corners motorsport has to offer. Trying to keep my one-liners in as well for Div 1, but well, you can't really undersell how beautiful this track is. Fair one, Iron, fair one. Oh, hopefully it's going to be a grading system for my commentary. How long can I keep Iron awake? When he falls asleep, that's when I know it's trailed off here. A5 with the point that I was just about to make. Turn 1 murders, extremely common. As people head into the... As I've got it written down in my notes, it's the Variante del Rettifilio. Or as everyone else calls it, Turn 1. But Crofty calls it the Rettifilio chicane. Yeah, as you're heading to there, it's chaos. Tightly packed right-hander, 90-degree right-hander, into about 110 degree left-hander that opens up into one of most iconic, not so corners anymore, corners in the world of Curva Grande. You've got the Variante del Rosia chicane. British accent and Italian. Nah, you know, old. I think the word is wise, Ironland. Wise. It's late in South Africa. You're, God, 2 hours ahead of the UK at the moment. It's currently 8 o'clock. Just gone 8. I think it's either 9 or 10 for you guys. Yeah, 2 ahead. Thought it would be, because they don't have daylight savings. But we do in the UK. Our clocks go rains back an hour in the mornings for the latter and the winter months. And then end of March, so in a couple of weeks' time, they go an hour into the future, so you actually lose an hour's sleep, which is a bummer. As Raven joins the session, as I say, we'll Be hearing a lot of yawns from me today as well because I'm tired as hell. But also, as I was going to say, Pintita is going to be late in today. We'll sum up the drivers a little later in qualifying. But for now, in constructors, all of the top 3 constructors who are realistically in with a fight, 132 points available. That does put the likes of Alfa Romeo in the fight, technically. But feasibly, are Jackie and Young's going to win the fastest lap and have all of the rivals DNF? I think not. Oh god, I shouldn't have said that. Oh yeah, that is fair, Ryan. Don't mess your sleep schedule up for HRA. That's A5, Mendel and Edvir, plus a bit of a Kai out of the pits, getting ready to set their flying laps. I'll get all of the deltas on, get my playlist on, which I still do for Xbox, because why not? Let's put my funk playlist on. That's the 2 Red Bulls in formation then. They'll hopefully from their ends be doing that towards the end of the race. Finally taught him brake dragging, eh? That is going to help his tyre temperatures and ultimately his dominance. Not someone who tends to like the street circuits. Those are where he's been poorest this season. But you have to say, once again, we were on the verge of it last time round with him equaling the win record of 3 in a row, which he already holds, and one other driver. But he has equalled the win record, and oh bugger, I forgot to note down who he's equalled it with in my notes. Dumb me. I'll only take a second, as I'll leave you with the beautiful symphony, well, not so beautiful symphony, of the V6 Turbo Hybrid onboard lap as A5 gets to grips with the temple of speed. As I look for this in the standings of old. In Division 2. For Spoonie in his dominant season, only managing 4 wins. As there is the fastest lap then. And Lewis M, holder of the win record at the moment from all the way back in season 2 of LRA. How about that for a throwback for some of you guys? And this isn't just for the win record in terms of wins normal. I've included sprint in that old stat. Williams, of course, do lead the Div 2 constructors coming into this. But I'm sure that Red Bull have been doing incredible, immense preparations for this event. Prepares to enter the pits after that slapping on provisional pole by quite the fine margin. 3 tenths. Our best. And A5 looking to not just get the overall record in Division 2. He's already got that. That's my bad for missing that on the stat. But the complete win record on most number ones next to a name at the end of the season. I can assure you, Kusky has been preparing these guys Kusky style. Any relevant driver to Red Bull, I'm sure, has been put through their paces. But I'm also aware that Williams does prepare. There's a reason they're leading the Constructors' Championship. This is the track. You'd think it easy to gain time as Piastri goes second. That's going to be happy for him. Alpine as well, what's been going on in their training camp. That is a question. Certainly is a question. The answer is a P2 right now for Piastri. That was a really nice segue from awkward section. Loving that. Let's go on board with Slogan for his return. Driver's name I recognise. I don't know where from. Where do I recognise that name from? Did he used to race here, or is he League of South Africa or something? He's currently on a flying lap. Ooh, a little wide of the apex at Del Rogia. Into the parabolic as he goes. You tip it in, use the camber of the road that quickly levels out to negative camber, which pulls the car the wrong way. Again, no camber on entry, camber at apex. Did 3 last year. Oh, snapping at Ascari. Power all over the place there. Holds it under control. Or slows him right now. Into the final corner. He goes. Curva Parabolica. It's been given Curva Alboreto. Technically is what it's called, but we'll call it Parabolica. For now, to the line. P10. 4 tenths off the back, but decent banker. As you can tell, big old yawn there. Raven goes second. I'm aware that I missed literally all of his overtakes last time round. Reserve div 2 a lot. Ah, sucks. Yeah. I honestly think that it should be mandate to put a bandwidth test in before every race. That I think would be a solid idea. Only takes literally seconds to do. There's a standardized one that everyone uses. That's the one that I did. It's A5 on another flyer. Into 1 and 2 we go. Let's detail where the time is in this Red Bull. The time is there. Look at that line of least distance in the F1 games. Not line of least resistance like real life. Solid braking. Beautiful on both apexes. Smooth on the power. There is time to find there, which is scary. It's again a little bit off the apex. Didn't feel like carrying too much speed, but A5 a driver with incredible promise. That was beautifully hooked up through left mode 2. Has to go the wide line of the traffic, but would have got a little bit of a slipstream from the sister car. Alpha of course. Tips it into Ascari. Ooh, it was awkward on the apex. It was a beautiful line took, but he just hesitated. Maybe could have done with a downshift on the apex, but here's 6th gear, low torque, but low revs, crucially. validates from not what he's looking for there, obviously. Into the pits he comes. Grubs that. It has to be said, Red Bull this season have not just been the force for no reason. They've not just come out all guns blazing. There's a reason behind it, and they are so incredibly organised. And I will say, I think I'm going to try and get this standardised for all private team Discords, but I have been invited into theirs, and I will not be leaking anything, Husky, don't you worry. But they are so organised. No wonder why they are so damn quick. The communication level within Red Bull is incredible, and just being in there, I'm sitting the other side. When I do racing, it's me only. I do the setups, I do this, I do the strategy. It's like they've got one bloody team working for him. They are so well put together, but it's not like a stupidly professional atmosphere. It's more of a coaching. Everyone wants to help everyone just to be that bit quicker, and that is that bit quicker for Piastri. 1:16.6, 1:19.6. 6 will be mighty round here. But A5 technically does have the win record for Division 2, but he will be looking to take the outright record, which is what Husky has equalled. He's equalled the outright win record if you count sprints, but in terms of pure wins, Division 1 and 2 Red Bull have broken them. And just broken the barriers to what we thought was possible in this league. But this track tends to be quite a close, strategical race, it has to be said. There's Raven on an in-lap. He is up there, so is Jackie as well, to be fair to him. Wondering if Pintita will actually be able to get on the grid today. He needed 2 points to keep himself in the fight, and this might be him losing it if he can't get in the session. So I do ask that anyone not racing keeps an eye on the Discord. It's in the name of competitive spirit. We do want him on the grid. He is in the fight. Technically in the fight. One of 3 cars right now. 3 cars, 3 races to go. And if he can't make it on the grid, it'll be 2 cars, 2 races. Division 2, the one that is on Red Bull's radar. We are seeing an unprecedented level of dominance this season. Yeah, lovely. Williams team boss, of course, Iron saying he's asked Kuski, the de facto team principal today and race strategist, your GP, if you were, today for the Red Bull team boss, actually, team owner, A5. And I think tonight or tomorrow night, as someone improves down the bottom, I will be putting in my time trials, because I do want to see if I can get racing. Only 2 teams on my radar, and that's most likely, well, actually 3. Ferrari, Williams, Red Bull are the ones that I like the liveries of and enjoy driving. Anyone in the session able to invite Pintita? I think I have him. Is he Xbox? Pintita. No, he isn't. Oh, it's Glorious Striker, is it? You're a bloody legend, aren't you? So he gets in. He will have time to take his car. He won't. No, I don't think he'll have time to get a quali lap in, which is a shame. It'll be a last 2 challenge for him. Once again, he needs 2 points and another one. A big thank you to Raven for keeping an eye out for that. Fighting chance is the message from Iron, and indeed true. Well said from the Williams boss. You got to be on the grid. You got to be in it to win it. And he is in it. He'll most likely leave the pits just as a bit of a scouter, make sure all his systems are working. And indeed, I do see motion in the pit lane. In the fight for pole, A5 is on a flying lap then. This is where it all heats up then. He's 800ths up in the first sector. We go on board as he's gone wide through that chicane there. May back out this lap here. He'll keep his foot in. Hello, George. You've joined at just the right time to see Red Bull trying to secure pole position here. He's on the grass. He's right on the limit. Verstappen Monaco vibes here from the Red Bull. He knows this is it. It has to be it. Absolutely committed for Ascari. Maybe could do with 5th just to give it a bit more power, because it does seem to bog down losing time. But if it promotes consistency, then that's ultimately what matters. Sector 3 seemingly a little bit weak here. He'll be looking to recover some sort of time back after that earlier mistake. Into the pits he comes. No improvement from A5. Mendel goes second. Good showing from Red Bull as a team today. Piastri is on another level right now, though only half a 10th clear at the top. Mendel has done his flyer. Raven is on a flyer as well. He's a 10th down in the first sector, so time to find for him. Piastri into sector 3 goes, still absolutely sending it. Round the parabolica he goes. Pole for Piastri, unless Raven can do anything about it. Jackie takes checker flag, doesn't improve. Raven, I'm not sure if he's up or not. I didn't quite catch the delta out the corner of my eye. Goes P3 above Mendel, splits the Red Bulls, and will relieve the pressure off Piastri's back line. Hamilton line doesn't improve. Definitely as well in the pit, so there is your qualifying grid set. Piastri P1, A5, P2, Raven P3, Mendel P4, Jackie P5, Tomboy 6th, Edvir 7th, Hammer 8th, Slozen on return P9, Kai P10, rounds out the top 10 as well. Deathmage, Billy, Yugs and Pintita unable to set a lap time at the end, but got in the session crucially for him and Williams' championship hopes. Thought Hammer's camera settings have been exposed then. I was like, why on earth is Hammy using that camera? So, Piastri on pole then. Less than 900ths of a second in it. 88 thousandths. Nah. This ain't my account. So, well, technically it is my account. But this ain't the main. Four safety cars incoming, says Kai. Yeah. Pentita, Piastri, Raven, top 3 prediction. No podiums for Red Bull predicted from Raven. That's bold. And I know some people in the chat wouldn't be very happy if that would happen, but from a neutral standpoint, from a commentator standpoint, what a Grand Prix we must have for that to be the outcome. I lost the first. Piastri getting to Moto 1 position from pole. And Raven predicting himself to finish 3rd. I believe where he qualified. I'm going to grab my Lipton's green tea and have a little chill before the race gets started here. Ain't gonna lie, just trying to think of what to say if A5 does indeed snatch the win. On the absolute win record, I think. It's words can't describe really, to be honest, how good this season's been for Red Bull. Once again, for those of you just joining us, Red Bull with 9 races to go across all 3 divisions are League Constructors Champions and Division 1 Constructors Champions. They have mathematically wrapped up Division 1, I believe, under Red Bull's name. Let me double check if they have wrapped up Division 1. 3 rounds to go. That is 78 points available. Driver standings. Indeed, mathematically, they have wrapped up Division 1. There is no driver other than Red Bull who can win. And we are lights out and away we go here. Looks like a tentative start from Mendel, whose car was pointing all sorts of strange directions. Down towards turn 1 we go then. Further back, we look for the chaos, and there it is, a Williams going into the back of someone. There's an Alfa Romeo around. It's absolute chaos and carnage at the start here. The camera angle's really not helping. Pentita might have got involved in some of that chaos. Indeed, right end plate missing for the Williams driver, who is now going to look to go side by side with Yugs. It's been a horrific start for both Alfa Romeos. Chaos into the Rettifilio chicane at the start of the lap as we go through the Roger and into the Lesmos. A5 has the lead of the race. It's been a poor start from the pole sitter Piastri, who's dropped down to P11. A nightmare start for him. He's outside of the points as it stands. And with a 14-point deficit coming into this race, he really cannot afford to lose many points here. He does not want a situation next round where he has to take points out of A5. Because it's Saudi Arabia, I believe, that may be a weak track for both of these drivers. They don't tend to like enclosed tracks. But he's down in very low positions. Tomboy retakes P3 as Mendel into the pit lane. Hammer retires from the session and leaves the session. Connection issue, I believe, then for Hammer. Hope no issues are caused while migrating host. 3 cars into the pits further out front. Look at this for a lead. Do we have a restart here? No. Yeah? Hammer, Piastri, Kaya gone. Yes. Must be. After session's leaving. Lobby restart confirmed. Yeah, everyone's calling for a restart. Some people getting glitches up and down the field, so we have confirmation of a lobby restart here. Pintita. Sorry, I'm trying my best with the name. I know I keep messing it up. Pintita. We'll get a second chance then from the back of the grid. I'll leave just to make it clear that we have a restart here. Just as my bloody playlist starts playing Skyfall by Adele. I've got to make sure this is lined up to the end of the Div 1 season as well. And if anyone can edit as well, do make a HRA TikTok account or something, or an Insta account, because that would be hilarious. All right. Might as well shape things up while we're here in terms of drivers and constructors. So when the drivers, to sum it all up, Pintita needs 2 points to stay in the fight, but realistically will want to be outscoring because he trails by 27 points and he can't trail by more than 51 points heading into round 11. He's on 122 points and on 135, just 14 points off the leader, is Piastri, the closest rival to A5 all season long, has pounced when A5 has suffered. Last time round, A5 was actually going to be losing points, to put it bluntly, but he pulled an absolute masterclass strategy. I should say Red Bull pulled an absolute masterclass strategy. But yeah, did not go well for Piastri there, despite looking his race all race long last time out. And in the lead, A5, 149 points on the board right now. And he is equal for the absolute win record, a word that I'm going to be using a lot over the next 2 streams, including this one, because it is a season of absolutes for Red Bull. I'm looking to sweep Div 1 and 2 and 3. They've sort of climbed up the ladder in terms of how impressive it's been from the lower divisions. Division 3, it's been a decent fight, but I'm not sure. I believe it's wrapped up there as well. Madison in the chat. Of course, he will humble brag about it only all the time, but the only two-time Division 1 champion that we have in the ranks. Say it again for the fans. Shut up. Zaki Beast will return one day. One day, they say. Well, his win record is gone now anyway. And, oh, God, testing my knowledge here, but another Div 1 driver who's still active. Reese, that's the word. His record of 4 wins on the bounce broken last time round. And mathematically, in Division 1, the title can be won if there is... maths. Yeah, I can't remember what my maths said it was. 36-point lead. Need 54, then it's done. Ooh, I'm so bad at maths. 52, then it's done. I'm like 16. 16-point swing needed from Kusky. There's been no word on if any team games will be played there, but there may. George begging Maslin to race Friday. They want to break the streak that Kusky and Red Bull have going. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no, I've just watched the clip that Kusky sent. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's splendid racing line there. Incredible racing lines. As there is a court already up. Alright. Apologies for the whack-ass headset noises. If my noise suppression didn't move them, I got long hair these days, so I was just flicking it back. 2 to 3 minute break this time. Yeah, once again, apologies for being sharp, George. I made no offence. I mean, I got it wrong. I thought the first one was fine and the second one wasn't, so there's that. Why not sum up the constructors while we wait? Williams and Red Bull and Alpine. Again, the three teams who are first, second and third in the drivers are technically all jumbled up in terms of constructors. It's not as it is in the drivers. In the drivers, it's Red Bull, Alpine, Williams. Being constructors, it's Williams, Red Bull, Alpine. The two ones who are realistically in the fight at the very, very top, Williams and Red Bull. 3 points separate them in the constructors. Incredibly tight. 177 for Williams and 174 for Red Bull. Alpine on 137 trail Williams by 40 points. But at the end of the day, that is a P1 and a P3 swing, and it will be back in their favour. I thought it wasn't coincidence that there was 2 plasters. There are some horrific puns that I can make. Some horrific ones, but I'm not gonna. Must refrain. Billy Bowling. As we are getting ready to go green here. A reminder that A5 leads the championship then by 14 points. Piastri trailing. He is in second, of course, by 14 points. Pentita still in the fight, 27 behind. He must get 2 points to stay in contention. But he will be looking not to be losing a whole heap of points here, but looking to gain, because with 3 rounds to go, including this one, and starting from the back here, he must outscore A5 by at least 27 points in 3 races, which is more than a first to second margin. That's, yeah, it's a tall task. It's 2. Realistically, he needs A5 to finish third for 2 of the remaining races with him winning, and it's going to be a struggle for Williams to win the drivers. They're still within a solid shot of constructors. I'd argue Red Bull are going to hook it up incredibly well later in the season here, but you just don't know. And you just don't know how this one's going to go. 5 red lights. It's lights out and we are underway here in Division 2. Looks like a solid start from Piastri. We'll look to the behind view to side-by-side action between Raven and A5. That's settled down. There's been an almighty shunt at turn 1. So many cars involved in this one. I can't even list the amount involved in it, to be quite honest. A lot of cars caught up. There's a Williams of Edveer who's been caught up in it as well. Not good for Williams Constructors hope, as Slozen looks to fight with Pintita. Backs out of it, has to take to the escape road in order to not take Pintita out of the running. Good avoiding action taken there as yellow flags further back. Jackie is out of the session. He's hit the inside wall. Done at 2009 Hamilton. And safety car deployed then. Safety car number 1 of Kai's predicted 4 has been deployed. Freakish action as always here. Position changes at the top. They swap positions. A5 with that incredible getaway and had a really good run that I completely missed. Raven Mendel hung out their positions. We've got Edveer and Jackie. Of course, Edveer out the race down 9. Jackie out the race down 9. Edveer down 6. Slozen up 2. Pintita up 4. Billy up 2. Kai up 1. Hammer up. Well, a lot of cars going to the pits now, so that was all irrelevant. Change my song from What It Was. When Minecraft says in transit. After the stream tonight. Because we got a relatively boring bit behind safety car. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna steal my personal channel. I link it every now and then. If you enjoy watching a grown-ass man mine in stone for hours straight in Minecraft, you're gonna love my streams. Because guess what, I've got to do 100 hours of. You guessed it. Got nearly 2 double chests full of shulkers with stone in it. Which is hey, okay, I only took 1 person out, alright? Shush. On a real one. It is mad there is a driver with a Div 1 pole who's going to be in Div 3. That is ridiculous. I won't get Div 2, I'm not quick enough on pad. Into the pits comes Tomboy then. Making the most of this, we'll switch to the tyre graphic and keep it there for the foreseeable future. There's A5 out front. Incredible start from him. Incredible start. Top 7 all on softs. Slozen on mediums. Edveer on softs. Everyone behind on fresh mediums. I'll say fresh. Death Major and car have done 1 lap on them, but at the end of the day, it is 1 lap under safety car. as you'd expect it to be in this lap. Indeed it is. We prepare to go green then. And we prepare for A5 to lead the field. As he is brake dragging here. Prepares to go green then. Still dragging. Around parabolic he goes, so it's going to be a late one here. Ray 5, it's just a matter of when he goes, and he has dropped the hammer. And he had to, because at a track like Monza with that first straight, it's crucial that he gets a good start. And he looks like he's pulling away from A5 here, pulling away from Piastri, who might not be able to even go for a dive here. Indeed doesn't. Further back, look at this for some side-by-side action. We'll ride on board with Edveer. He's got Death Mage on his inside, doesn't notice him. They make contact in the fight then. Still up the front, look at this for an onboard camera. Edveer, Death Mage, side-by-side through the Curva Grande. They go as they head to the Della Roggia chicane. It is Edveer ahead. Further in front, Slozen had a little look for a move, and Pintita still behind Billy. That's up wide for the Haas. Does good to not lose the back end, as Jackie did. Yellow flag further back, or further in front. Raven out of the session. Another safety car. What has happened to Raven there? Parked at the inside. He can't park there, mate. Second safety car of the race already. And the question is, will the Haas go to the end from now on? Mashallah. Introntic's just here for the banter. And I'm sure to cheer on Alpine. Second on track. Third in the constructors. Second in the drivers. A reminder, if Piastri was to win every race from now on, and A5 second, A5 would still take the title home. Due to countback. No, he wouldn't. Sorry, I'm thinking there's 2 rounds to go. My brain is stupid. Ignore my dumbass. I'm tired, alright? Raven. Well, you mind talking about that one? Another couple laps wasted because Raven bin. Another safety car. Oh. High temperature issue then for Raven. A reattempt on the exit of Lesmo 2 will get you. I wish I could go to sleep. I totally do, but I did not spend 20 minutes meticulously jotting down notes just to go to bed midway through the race or midway through the stream. No siree. Dead and dying after work today anyway, so don't know how I had the motivation to even start doing notes, but here we are with A5 looking to extend his lead to 21 points as it stands. Pintita, he's worked his way up to P6, to be fair to him. Solid start from the Williams. So I'm just going to mute up until we go green. Still a lot of laps to go, says Iron, and indeed correct. We will be green this lap, so ain't no point in me muting actually. I'm just going to turn the old music up just so I don't fall asleep. Genesis by Justice. That is a song that indeed sums up the chaos of a safety car restart around Monza. We saw a safety car almost immediately, 2 sectors in, and we had a safety car last time round. Same happened. Lesmo 1 has claimed a life, Lesmo 2 has claimed a life. Will we make it further than Lesmo 2 here? We wait and find out. As A5 prepares once again to lead them away. Late restart is the meta in this game, due to the fact of actually it's gone as well, due to the fact of if you go early it still limits your throttle unless the safety car's actually in the pits. So solid restart from A5. There'll be no threat behind from Piastri, but Hammer and Mendel fighting it out down the main straight for the final position on the podium. This is crucial positions for the Constructors' Championship for Red Bull. They can deal a hammer blow to Williams here if it all goes to plan. And indeed a decent result would even set Alpine out of the mix. They need an 88-point lead leaving this race. Further back there's a little bit of chaos. This is side by side between Death Mage and Tomboy. Round the outside looks to go Tomboy. He has some electric moves last time round at Singapore. That's another one. Clean round the outside at Lesmo 2. Beautiful stuff from Mercedes. He's up to P9. So looking forced the tightest gaps here. Edveer right up on the back of Slozen, who's looking to defend the position. That's a poor line for Edveer though. Got caught up in the moment and in the fight, and now will have to defend from Tomboy behind Kai and Death Mage. Death Mage loses another position. Kai in the Ferrari up to the points for the Scuderia at their home track. And that looks a little bit wide for Billy up in the distance. Here we go then. This is going to be electric down the main straight we go. There's 3 abreast heading into turn 1. It's Williams, it's Aston, and it's Haas. As they go into turn 1, there's a Mercedes looking to join the fight as well. Edveer leads this. Billy has gone from 7th to P9. Well, no, actually, no. He was P6 at the start of this, wasn't he? Indeed, my stream says he was. So that is the power of Slipstream around this track. Tomboy, Slozen, and Edveer all moving up places in the mix. Stifling another yawn there. As Hammer is actually holding on to the back of this train of Piastri and Hammer. And got the timers. And A5. Tomboy passes Slozen as well. Out of the Lesmo 2. Poor exit for Slozen. Tomboy will pounce on those. Billy taking a defensive line there to car to. Ooh, that's Edveer off. Edveer has gone round. I don't think there's front wing damage on that car, but that promotes everyone up a place. And Kai unable to make any move there, but he sent Billy a little bit deep. DRS enabled here. So this is going to make for some chaos. It won't be enabled for this straight here. It's a detection before the last corner. Here comes Billy then side by side with Slozen. Unable, indeed does actually make the pass. Sorry if there's a couple of mistakes in commentary today. I'm oddly tired. So Pintita, he's up to 5th now as well. This is a great recovery so far from P14. He's looking to score as many points as possible. He does need them 2 points, but it's looking set that he would get them so far, but still. Ooh, as it gets shaky, still 18 laps to go in this race. Is there 18 laps? Oh my goodness, maths. Something like that. Slowson repasses Billy into Curva Ascari. Poor line on exit for Billy. Kai may look to jump. A5 has broken DRS out front. As this fight still getting very, very intense here. Plenty of time left for it to snowball into chaos, but for now we're happy with it as it is. Some solid battling between these three cars, heading down the main straight they go. This nice high camera angle showing us nearly going 3 wide. Kai stays out of it. Might look to follow Billy through here on the inside. Indeed does. Makes a little bit of contact with Slowson. Actually rotates the Aston Martin, who's now tucked up right behind Billy and looking to the outside at Curva Grande. Ooh, small bit of contact there from Slowson. Side by side with Billy, still has his nose in there. Billy goes deep. Slowson gets the switchback and Billy spins but recovers. Not sure if it was a clot on the side pod of Kai that recovered him or just a beautiful save. We'll sum it up as a beautiful save for Billy. Nonetheless, it demotes him a couple of positions. Wide though for Slowson. Kai will look to pounce in this. This is an incredible fight between these three, and it's still waging and raging on. Kai makes it out in front this time round. Slowson getting snaps left, right and centre there. As Yugs closing up to the back of Ed here as well for the final point playing position. The fight for P10. Fight for P... Oh, there's the fight for P2. Hammer passes Piastri then. Hammer seemingly with the pace here. Bentita in fourth right now. He's going to try and make advantage of any fights going on here. As A5 still looking to stay in control of this race, but Hammer has pace, and that is the factor we will not want to hear about. Reminds that the championship cannot be wrapped up here, but a decent setup would mean that decent point swing would mean that Piastri is needing points to stay into the fight, but never count anyone out until it's over. We did see a 20-point deficit overturned in Division 1 a couple seasons ago. It's all to play for till you cross that checker flag, penalty free of course. Bentita, first car to pounce into the pits, looking for an undercut. The fight for the front, the fight for the lead. 3 cars involved in it. It was 0. But Hammer, with a burst of pace, has closed the field back up on the podium positions. All up for fight here. Fight for 7th further down as well. Slowson and Billy. Billy seems to have just made a mistake in the mix there and lost a little bit of time. But Hammer is giving A5 plenty of grief here and is not looking to make this another easy win for A5, who is going for the complete win record. Piastri, Hammer does get past, and Piastri now looking to pass A5 then. With the pace of Hammer, it doesn't surprise me that he's looking to get past as well. They're side by side through Parabolica. A5 slots in behind, and now surely will dive into the pits. Get the undercut on these guys, get the jump. Gets it slowed down nicely to the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit we have here. I'm saying it's great to see Hammer fighting for the podium again. Indeed it is. But he will know he just has to keep it hooked up, because quite frankly it's not been very lucky over recent times for Hammer. Every time he finds himself in these positions, there's either a small mistake or he gets taken out. I've always said that it will be a stroke of good luck that breaks the streak. And also, in I believe it was my debut season, fighting it out with Hypes for the title that season. So incredibly close stuff from Howard back then. That was for Division 2. Since then he's had his ups, he's had his downs. He's been in a bit of slump lately, but it's the good type of slump. The slump when you've got pace and just can't hook it up. Because once you hook it up, that pace begins to flow nicer and nicer. You get in a better place mentally, and ultimately it's a positive cycle of pace increases, happiness increases, which makes your pace increase, and it just keeps snowballing until you're one hell of a driver like A5. Ooh, that's a snap of oversteer at the rear for Hammer. I think these guys going quite long here, because A5 will come out in the lead by some margin to these guys. He's probably already within their pit window. They're happy driving their own race right now, possibly waiting for a safety car. Dell passes Yugs, older tyres for Yugs. No fight put up from the Alfa Romeo. Mendel up to P8. A Minder top 5 yet to pit. Slozen, Kai, Tomboy, Piastri and Hammer, who we should realistically see both of them dive into the pits this lap. It makes sense. I'm just quickly going to change my song. As we wait and see, does that Mercedes peel into the pits? Indeed it does, and as does Piastri, who just about got to slow down, and does that very well. He is right on the back of Hammer, so a poor turn-in for either of these drivers here will not bode well. Tomboy and Kai pass. Look at that, it is line of stern from these two cars. As here comes A5 down the main straight, fastest lap of the race. As I would want to go to an onboard camera here and see it doesn't get spicy between these two. Pentita, there we go, power of the undercut is on this fight. So if he can get involved, he can Ironland saying he knows the feeling of being in the slump while having pace. He seems to be getting out of it. Points finished last time round will help. That won't help for Hammer though. There's the mistakes we've been talking about. Goes wide and is now side by side with Piastri and quickly cuts that off and says, not like that, thank you very much. So Hammer, the cracks begin to show, but he looks to steal them. At the moment they seem to be appearing as quick as he's sealing them. Gets passed by Piastri. So he will stay in the mix there. 4 seconds to A5, the gap they have to overhaul. So A5 goes fastest yet again. And Dell goes faster. Red Bulls currently flying side by side into turn 1. Hammer retakes net P2 there. Kusky saying he loves watching them fight, makes him happy. Well, may get even happier because the lead drivers, well, second driver realistically for Mercedes, but he's been on good form lately. We'll call them lead drivers for each of the teams fighting it out, while the Red Bulls, one is P7, who has joined the back of his train now, and seemingly with incredible race pace. while the other is net P1. But it's kind of top two yet to pit. A fight at Monza, although it might look slow, it actually does mean that you gain because the constant swapping within DRS. These two will be battling it out, working out who's best here, who's best there, and that will come to fruition later in the race. But right now they will be working together. They know they have to work together to win. And there goes quickest again. So here we go, Pentita side by side. Will he make the corner? Just about does, but it's going to be a poor exit. Mendel looks to wrestle his way back past. This is going to help eliminate another car from the championship. If he can get past Pentita, or there's still a chance to get 2 points. Mendel very confident that he can ride them. It's all big snap from Mendel, well held, but that's not going to help. That, although not going to help his race, is an incredible save from the Red Bull. He's been told to push like hell by Koski, and he was. And it very nearly snaps him into the inside wall at Lesmo 2, as it did with Raven, but held by the Red Bull driver. If you're going quicker, you've got that heightened senses. Indeed, there we go, the older tyres for the leaders, 2 lap older tyres, as Billy gets time penalty, first time penalty of the race. Indeed, Piastri and Hammer are steadily closing in on this lead fight. It's nothing major. Pentita sticks with them. His only real chance, due to the age of his tyres, 3 lap older, is going to be in DRS trains. Mendel surely will close back up to the rear of this train. Pentita gets the time penalty that he will not be wanting. Quite obviously that is going to hurt his race and promote Mendel up a position and encourage an incredible swing in the constructors to swing even further in the favour of Red Bull, currently outscoring all of their rivals, barring Mercedes, but that will change. Tom Boy's into the pit lane for a fresh set of soft tyres. He will take to the end of, he will not be taken to the end of the race. Will be a fresh set of mediums. Actually it will be, I'm getting my maths so wrong. The tiredness really kicking in here as A5 takes the lead of the race. Hammer, Piastri, in no particular order. In particular order, A5, Piastri and Hammer. Top 3, Piastri and Hammer fighting it out. Pentita looking to stay on the back of this train. But his priority will be gapping Mendel by 3 seconds. Kai as well will close in on fresh mediums. Tom Boy as well, fresh softs will be a factor, as that's wide for Kai. Into the inside barrier he goes, not out of the race, but that is not good. VSC deployed, as he's going to have to wait to get the car rotated round. Indeed spins it round here, but a virtual safety car deployed. Drops the rear of it on the exit, went too wide at Lesmo 1. Neutralizes the race. Let's everyone regen ERS, regen fuel. He's got to be careful here. As DRS enabled, we're back green here. And it's been a relatively poor start for A5. He's lost about 8 tenths. He's lost a lot of time on the exit there. Gap's out now down to 2 seconds. The fight for the lead of this race gets more and more intriguing lap after lap here. And it will be spicing up. It seems to be looking like it's all going to come together. Yeah, VSC and Dubois is going into turn 1. Which meant that he couldn't accelerate. It's unlucky for A5, but he'll look to get his head back down and get involved in it. And that is really going to help him. His championship rival with 3 seconds to his name now. So unless Hammer gets a penalty, if Hammer gets a penalty, he's going to be safe. If not, he can afford for Hammer to settle now, which would really help them make them stop swapping positions. The bad luck has just tumbled back into Piastri's lap. Down the main straight they go. Piastri will now look to work with Hammer here and work with the Mercedes. They've gained a 10th compared to last lap. Looking set to be 2, maybe even 3 tenths. That is a really strong corner for Hammer, it would seem, in the grand scheme of things. But poor one for A5. He's struggling with traction out with a low speed, it would seem, because he holds them steady on the straights. But in the corners, he's struggling big time. And look at that gap down to 1.5. This is a car that is really strong in a straight line, but struggling. Look at the gap, extend through the straights. But that would explain why he was struggling so much for Ascara in qualifying. Loses 2 tenths through there. Piastri is back with the back of him, so this is a setup that, although it looks like it won't win the race, I can tell you for a fact A5 will cross the line first, because ultimately he is going to have that edge over the rest of the competitors in a straight line. That Red Bull is a bullet, and the competition are starting to realise it. There goes Piastri taking P2. I'd explained the lack of performance out of the low speed. Look at the gap shrink here. It's gone down another 2 tenths compared to what it was last lap there. And this fight in the last 5 or so laps of the race, very, very intense. Hammer all over the back of Piastri here. Piastri seems to be fumbling whenever he's leading the train. I don't know why he doesn't just let Hammer have the lead and keep that battery high. That is going to be data that Kuski will have already relayed well before I noticed that there's 70% ERS on the car of Piastri. A genuine threat then, but he seems to not have the pace as Hammer retakes the position into Ascari. They're losing time because they're fighting. Piastri must see that and must stay behind Hammer here to have any chance of winning this race and taking points out of his championship rival. Right now he's set to lose 10 points. That's wide there for Hammer though. And DRS will be activated for Piastri as he looks to close in, but he's going to have lost time compared to last lap. The gap 1.3 out of this corner last lap. What will it be this lap? We'll call that about 1.5 or 1.6. It is not pace that Piastri wants. He is pretty much dead even with A5 if he wasn't fighting, but that's not enough. He should notice that Hammer has the pace. I know I keep stressing this, but his only chance to win this race is to pick up on the pace that Hammer seemingly has around this track. incredibly smooth lines from Hammer. They are closing on A5, but it just needs to open up every time there's a bit of straight and narrow. Piastri pushing now. He's using that ERS that he had in the bubble, as has A5 down to 15% ERS. He's got to be careful not to let that red light flash, because that will alert the cars behind us. That's a poor line through 1 and 2 for Piastri, for A5 there, and Piastri will look to pounce this lap. He should really start burning, not burning, melting through that battery power, try and get within that second, because this is the lap. Can't be looking in his mirrors, but I have a feeling that as he has throughout this whole race, he will start to trail towards looking into his mirrors. But I think now he's seen that gap decrease bit by bit. DRS, will it be here? Yes, it will. Now the race gets interesting. Now it heats up. Piastri's goal here should not be trying to get past A5 and run into the distance. That's not going to happen. He should accept that, but his goal should be getting Hammer in front of A5, because that will minimise the points lost out of this, or staying ahead of Pin Tutor. An incredibly fine balance. Here we go, sports fan, says Maz. Indeed. Bit of ERS used. Here comes Piastri. And for the first time in a long time, we may see the lead of the race swap here, but A5 will know there's no issue with that. He will see the issue in his rearview mirrors in the shape of a Mercedes. But A5 can comfortably sit there. The strategist will know that. That's all here, but he has to watch for the overspeed of the double DRS and slipstream, not double DRS, double slipstream and DRS that Hammer is getting. Pintita is losing out in this fight. Mendel unable to close in. Tomboy is on the back of him as well. That's a fight we should look to. Billy and Death Mage, close fight. We're going to get rid of the tyre graphic. We know how that's going. This is the one that we want to see. The penalties graphic. As yeah, A5's got nothing through Ascari. It's like watching signs compared to Verstappen through the corners at this very track in 2023. That's a little bit wide for Hammer there. As indeed Piastri's gone here. Piastri has broken that second. So now that leaves A5 vulnerable to losing the position to Hammer here. A5 is in the net lead of the race here and looking to make it a record-breaking 6th win in a season for a Division 2 driver. I don't have anything cooked up. I was going to think of something, but in all honesty, this racing has just been absorbing from Division 2. With a lap and a half to go, it is all to play for here. Not especially in the especially in the terms of Hammer and A5 going to be fighting it out down the main straight is going to be absolutely crucial for both of these drivers. It will be where this race is lost or won, but the straight line speed of A5, you have to say, will keep him in the fight throughout the last lap. Overtake being deployed here. It's a matter of, does A5 get the DRS from Piastri? It's not looking likely. Hammer trying to force the defensive line from A5. It's not worked out there. Will it be a first win of the season for A5 and a first win for Hammer, sorry, or a first win in a 6th win in the season for A5? This is the question that we're all asking. But will Piastri, as actually Hammer has got the pace to stick with Piastri as well. That's really not going to help A5 as we're on the last lap of the race. The Mercedes is in the net lead of the race for the first time in a long time. And it might well be He's got 2 sectors to hook it up. We were all talking about a little bit of good luck needed. He's got it. He's found it. He just has to grasp it. Hold on to it tight. Hammer, because there is only a sector and a half to go between your first win in a long time in HRA. Right now he is tucked up behind the rear wing of Piastri. There will be a threat from A5 as there has been for all drivers all season, but that's wide there at Ascari, and he's losing time to Hammer. So as we head towards the last few corners, it will be Piastri who enters the Parabolica first. It's been an incredible drive from him, but the penalty ultimately has unfolded his race and given it to the man behind. It's Hammer who's going to get his first win of the season and his first win for a good while. It's Hammer at the top step. Mercedes find their feet once again. A5 is up there. Takes points off of both his championship rivals. Not as many as he would want. A 3-point swing with Piastri and a 6-point with Pintilta. But that is a win that Hammer needed for his confidence. P1 for the Mercedes driver. Incredible stuff. That is what makes Hammer such a good driver. His strategical thinking. It may not be raw pace. He is the Maz of Division 2. Not the fastest into Division 2 by a mile, but he has a strategical mind like no other. And despite the brain of Kuski behind the strategy of A5, there's not much you can do. Ultimately, the low downforce setup, they gambled for it. They knew it would work out if he was out in the front, but they could not have foreseen the pace and the ultimate racecraft and help that Hammer had working with Piastri, who I think was working for himself there all race long. But Hammer still managed to turn it towards his own gain, and it led to him bagging a quite unlikely victory. He gets driver of the day. He gets my driver of the day as well. An incredible drive as well. It's not just any win for Hammer. It is a return to form and a return to glory that we knew that he had in him. Lifts the trophy, and the curse is broken for Hammer. Mercedes, one car on the podium this race. Our apologies for that. And it is Hammer. Tomboy sort of fight past Mendel. I'm not sure if he managed to do it in the end. But yet again, a win that he needed and a win that he truly deserves. Indeed, Tomboy did fight past Mendel in the end. Was unable to get past Pintilta. So a confirmation that barring any penalties removed or added, that A5 will lead the driver's standings by 17 points to Piastri as we head into the next round, and he will lead Pintilta by 33 as we head into next round. Today, the team that came out with the most score was actually Mercedes out of the mix. So that can help bring them closer. They are at 96 at the moment to Alpine's 137, who are next up the line. Red Bull outscored Williams as well. So they retake the lead of the constructors' standings. Was as it was at the start, just a better lead for A5, which is ultimately all he will care about. He has more of a lead heading into the last two rounds. 14-point lead goes up to 17, and that ultimately leaves him a cushion of being able to finish second for the last two rounds and having no chance of losing the title, even if it's fastest lap in both of them races for Piastri. A5 just has to get second for the last two races of the season, and he'll be champion. That absolute win record not gone yet. But I'd like to say round it off because my voice is right on the edge of going. a big congratulations to Hammer. Finally breaking the curse. A5 saying VSC killed him. Indeed it did. That ultimately lost the time. But the strategical mind of Hammer yet again shows that with a little bit of pace in the mix, he can find himself up at the front and fighting for wins on the regular. Has this been a resurgence that will propel him into championship fighting next season? Well, we'll find that out next season. But for now, the fight is on. 17-point lead at the top for A5. He leads Pintita by 33 as well, so that is going to be a struggle for the Williams driver to stay in the fight. But for round 10 of Division 2, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. This one truly has been a blast. And I will see you Friday for Division 1 and a confirmation. I won't be doing my go-kart next week. I will be commentating on Division 2. So I'll see you next week for Division 2. And I'll see you Friday in 2 days' time for Division 1, where the title can be won if there is a 16-point swing in the favour of Kusky. But for now, have a good one, guys. Ta-da.